Welcome. Live at the Steelmatic Network with G Honda. Live at the Steelmatic Network with G Honda. Episode 37. Episode 37. Week 11. A short week. Thursday night. Going into it, but we here for the recap of week 10. Like, share, subscribe. Hit that Cash App Steelmatic 001. Hit that Cash App Steelmatic 001. I'm your host, G Honda. Appreciate y'all being here with me today. And we're going to cook up and chop it up about previous week. Sunday, Steelers came out with a W. We're going to talk about it. We're going to get into it, as well as all the other matchups on this week, last night, or yesterday and last night, of course. We're going to talk about those Chargers and those Bengals. We're going to talk about the full scale matchup. And of course, trust and believe, we got smoke for the Steelers. Yep, we do. Appreciate y'all being here today, man. Y'all like, share, subscribe, hit that Cash App Steelmatic 001, Steelmatic 001. Appreciate y'all being in here with me today. Appreciate y'all being in here with me. Hope y'all having a productive Monday, starting the work week off productive. It's not about how you start, it's about how you finish. But we want to start productive. We want to be productive, and we want to be productive all the way through. Solidarity is what it's about. 1,000%. Yep. First and foremost, want to give a huge shout out to the storm victims, all storm victims affected by the storms in Tampa, here in the DMV, and here in the Carolinas. I know in the Asheville and the Boone area and around that surrounding way, they're doing full restorations, and they're going to be under restoration for a while. But if you were needing of assistance, if you were needing financial assistance, lost your home to the storms, you had home damage and the need of financial assistance, don't hesitate to reach out to FEMA.gov, disaster assistance, and the DRF for financial assistance on your home. And my condolences if you lost loved ones during the storm, as well as many others did through those times of disaster. Please don't hesitate to reach out to these entities, FEMA.gov, disasterassistance.gov, as well as the DRF for financial assistance in this time of recovery. Appreciate y'all being here with me today. Absolutely. So we're going to get into it. Let's get right into it. So we're going to get into these Sunday matchups. So, of course, I was off on quite a bit of my assessments. I'm a bit disturbed. I'm a bit disturbed on this Monday, not because it's Monday, not because it's Monday, but I was off on a couple of my assessments, which I kind of take pride in to a degree. I take pride in to a degree, but bottom line is, it's just my assessments. I'm no expert. I've previously stated that. I've voiced that many a time, but other people tend to say otherwise. But that's what opinions are for, right? Mm-hmm. Y'all like, share, subscribe, hit that like button on the way in. Hit that like button on the way in. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. All right. So first matchup on Sunday that we had, very first matchup on Sunday, we had the Raiders and the Dolphins in Miami. So of course, those Raiders, they came into Miami looking for a W. Gardner Minshew, he went 30 for 43 on 282 yards passing. He had 2 passing TDs, 1 INT. Myers, he had a carry for 20 yards. Madison, he had 5 carries for 19 yards. It was not enough as they took on the Dolphins. Tuivasa did his thing. Tuivasa went 28 for 36, passing on 288 yards, 3 TDs. Kane, he had 17 carries for 73 yards, a rushing touchdown, as well as Smith. He had 6 carries for 101 yards. 2 receiving TDs. Tyreek Hill had a receiving TD, as well as with adding on 7 receptions for 61 yards. And the Dolphins down the Raiders in Miami 34-19. Dolphins down the Raiders 34-19. Oh, yeah. Pretty bad. Next matchup, we had the Browns and the Saints. The Cleveland, James Winston and the Browns, they go into the Big Easy. They go into New Orleans. James Winston, he went 30 for 46 on 395 yards passing, 2 TDs. Nick Chubb had 11 carries for 50 yards. Ford, he had 5 carries for 10 yards. However, the only receiving touchdown was Moore with six receptions for 66 yards and 1 receiving TD. But New Orleans stormed back as Derek Carr went 21 for 27. Derek Carr went 21 for 27. Right. Unlikely, right? 248 yards and 2 TDs. Taysom Hill, he had 7 carries for 138 yards, 3 rushing touchdowns. And Valdez Scanlon had 1 receiving touchdown on 2 receptions and 87 yards receiving. And the Saints down and beat the Browns 35-14. 35-14. Saints beat the Browns 35-14. Y'all like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. Hit that like button on the way in. Hit that like button on the way in. Next matchup, we had the Colts and the Jets. The Colts and the Jets. Colts and the Jets. Colts, they're going to win into New York. Richardson, he went 20 for 30 on 272 yards, one touchdown. Richardson had 2 running touchdowns in which he had 10 runs for 32 yards. And Downs had a receiving touchdown in which he had 5 catches for 84 yards. And for the Jets, Rodgers attempted to storm back. Rodgers went 22 for 29, 184 yards passing, 2 TDs. Hall had a rushing touchdown, which he was 16 carries for 78 yards. Yeah. And then Hall also had a couple of receiving catches for 7 receptions for 43 yards, 1 receiving TDs. 1 receiving TD. Your boy had a TV as well on 1 catch, but it wasn't enough as the Colts beat and edged the Jets 28-27 in New York. 28-27. Colts beat the Jets 28-27. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Get likes up for me. Next matchup, we had the Vikings and the Titans in Tennessee. The Vikings and the Titans in Tennessee. The Vikings and the Titans in Tennessee. Sam Darnold came into Tennessee going 20 for 32, 246 yards passing, 2 TDs of which he had a running touchdown of 8 runs and 18 yards. Also a receiving passing touchdown to Addison. Addison had 3 catches for 61 yards and 1 receiving touchdown, as well as Akers had 2 catches and 1 receiving touchdown as well. Will Levi and the Titans, they tried to storm back as he went 17 for 31 on 295 yards passing, 1 INT, 1 touchdown, of which Westbrook had their only touchdown, which he had 2 catches for 117 yards, but it wasn't enough as the Vikings down the Titans in Tennessee 23-13. 23-13. Vikings down the Titans 23-13. Next matchup, you had the Packers and the Bears in Chi-Town. Packers and the Bears in Chi-Town. So Packers, they go into Chicago. Jordan Love versus Caleb Williams. Heavy contested, touted matchup. Jordan Love went 13 for 17 on 261 yards passing, 1 TD, 1 INT. However, Josh Jacobs had 18 carries for 76 yards and 1 rushing TD, as well as Love had a running touchdown, 4 runs and 4 runs for 18 yards. Passing TD to Reed, in which he had 2 catches for 23 yards and 1 rush and 1 receiving touchdown. Caleb Williams and the Bears attempted to fight back. Caleb Williams went 23 for 31 on 231 yards passing, 0 TDs. Swift had a running touchdown, which was 14 carries for 71 yards, as well as Johnson had 10 carries for 33 yards running and a rushing touchdown, but it wasn't enough as the Packers edged the Bears. The Packers edged the Bears in Chicago 20-19. 20-19. Packers edged the Bears 20-19. Next matchup, shout out to Ty Pro, Mr. 8 Mile, Mr. 8 Mile's finest, Ty Pro. Next matchup, we got the Jags and the Lions. I don't even know why I'm even reading this one. I really don't. Shout out to Top Pro if you're listening now, which I know you are. Jags going to 8 Mile, Motor City, Motown, Detroit. So Trevor Lawrence goes into Detroit. I'm sorry. Jones passed for 17 when 17. Well, that's a surprise. Trevor Lawrence didn't even play. Go figure. Um, Jones, he went 17 for 29 on and had one INT. Um, Etienne Jr. had 12 carries for 27 yards rushing, and Thomas Jr. had 5 receptions for 82 yards rushing, but they came into Motown. They came into Detroit. Jared Goff and company. Jared Goff went 24 for 29. Huge step up from that. Huge step up from that 5 INT game he had last week, Top Pro. If I must say so myself, that's a huge step up. That's commendable. Jared Goff 4 INT. I'm sorry, 24 for 29, passing 412 yards, passing 4 touchdowns. Montgomery, 15 carries for 75 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns. Jahmyr Gibbs, 11 carries for 69 yards and 1 rushing touchdown, as well as Amon St. Brown, 2 TDs and with 11 catches for 161 yards. Williams, 4 catches for 124 yards, 1 receiving TD, as well as Wright, 1 catch for a touchdown as the Lions destroy the Jags. Lions destroy the Jags 52-6. 52-6. Lions destroyed the Jags. Who we got in the building? Who we got in the building? Shout out Rose. Smell the roses. Roses, how you doing today, Rose? How you doing today? Happy Monday. Happy Monday to you and Doberman Winston. How y'all doing today? How y'all doing today? Appreciate you being here, Rose. Appreciate you being here, Rose. Absolutely. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Congrats on y'all's win. Yeah, it's kind of one of those bittersweet oxymoron type deals, but I will get into it, because I got smoke for my guys. I got smoke for my guys, Rose. But I appreciate you being here, Rose. Appreciate you being here. Hope you're having a good, productive Monday. Hope you're having a great, productive Monday, Rose. Absolutely. Absolutely. Next matchup, we got the Rams and the Patriots. The Rams and the Patriots. So Rams, they go into Gillette Stadium. Matt Stafford came the ball. Matt Stafford went 18 for 27 on 295 yards passing, 4 TDs, all of which Nakua, he had a receiving touchdown in which he was 7 catches received for 123 yards. Cooper Kupp, a guy we tried to get, had two receiving TDs, 6 receptions for 106 receiving, as well as Parkinson had a catch for a TD as well, in which he had a catch for 19 yards, 1 receiving TD, as the Rams beat the Patriots in Gillette and Foxborough 28-22. Rams beat the Patriots 28-22. Next matchup. We had the Seahawks and the 49ers divisional game. Seahawks and the 49ers for a divisional game. Seahawks and the 49ers. Shout out to Alex X on the West Coast. Seahawks going to 49ers. They go into the Bay. Geno Smith went 25 for 32 on 221 yards passing. However, he did have an INT. Walker, he had a rushing touchdown, which he had 14 carries for 54 yards. Geno had 4 runs for 29 yards and a rushing touchdown. Also, Smith and Juba had 10 catches for 110 yards. But the 49ers, they did fight back. Brock Purdy went 21 for 28. Impressive. Good job. 21 for 28, 159 yards passing, 1 TD passing. They had one touchdown, which he was 5 for 40 and 1 touchdown. McCaffrey had 19 carries, 19 carries for 79 yards. Jennings did have a receiving touchdown in which he was 10 catches for 91 yards, but it wasn't enough as the Seahawks edged the 49ers. Seahawks edged the 49ers 20-17. 20-17 and 49ers in the Bay. Yes, they did. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Like, share, subscribe. Hit that Cash App Steelmatic 001. Steelmatic 001. Hit that Cash App Steelmatic 001. Next matchup, we had the Falcons and the Broncos. The Falcons and the Broncos. So Falcons going to Mile High. Falcons going to Mile High to face the Broncos. Kirk Cousins and company. Kirk Cousins went 18 for 27 on 173 yards passing. However, he did have a passing INT. Penix, he came in briefly. He had 2 throws for 4. He went 2 for 4 on 24 yards passing. John Robinson, he had 12 carries for 35 yards. McKinley, he had 8 runs for 15 yards. Also, Drake Lundy had 3 catches for 61 yards. But the Broncos would not be denied as Bo Nix came in at home and held court. He went 28 for 33 on 307 yards passing, 4 TDs. Williams, he had a rushing touchdown, which was 9 carries for 59 yards. Also, Humphrey had a receiving touchdown in which he was 4 carries. He had a receiving touchdown in which he was 4 receptions for 52 yards, as well as Mims Jr. had 2 catches for 49 yards, a receiving TD. And Franklin had a receiving TD, which he has 2 catches for 15 yards. Atkins had a receiving TD, he was 1 catch for 12 yards. And the Broncos down the Birds. They down the Falcons 38-6. 38-6 in the Mile High. Sorry, Rose. Sorry about your Falcons. Sorry. But lemon pepper wings are always great in the ATL. Next matchup, we had the Chiefs and the Bills. Chiefs and the Bills, highly anticipated game of the week. Chiefs and the Bills. Chiefs came in. Oh, man. Sorry, Rose. Chiefs and the Bills. Chiefs and the Bills. Chiefs come into Orchard Park, New York, take on the Bills. Pat Mahomes versus Josh Allen. Pat Mahomes went 23 for 33 on 196 yards passing, 3 TDs, 2 INTs. Kareem Hunt went 14 carries for 60 yards. Xavier Worthy went 4 catches for 61 yards, a receiving TD. Gray had 4 catches for 23 yards, 2 receiving TDs. But Josh Allen came back to prove a point. Josh Allen went 27 for 40, 262 yards passing, 1 passing TD, 1 INT. Allen had a running TD in which he had 12 runs for 55 yards. Cook had 9 runs for 20 yards on 2 running in touchdowns. And Samuels had 5 catches for 58 yards, 1 receiving touchdown. Shakir had 8 catches for 70 yards. And of course the INTs, Pat Mahomes had Bernard. He had an INT. He had a receiving INT, and as well as Rapp had a receiving INT. And the Bills beat the Chiefs in New York. The Bills beat the Chiefs in New York, 30-21. 30-21. Bills beat the Chiefs, 30-21. I know everybody's saying why Josh Allen can't do that in the postseason. Let him get there. Let him get there first. Next matchup, we had the Bengals and the Chargers. The Bengals and the Chargers. The Bengals and the Chargers. Great matchup last night. Epic matchup. Bengals and Chargers. AFC heavyweight match. Burrow came in. Burrow went 28 for 50. Joe Burrow went 28 for 50 yards passing, 28 for 50 on 356 yards passing, 3 TDs, of which Higgins had a receiving TD, 9 catches for 148 yards. Jamar Chase, shout out Louisiana, 7 catches for 75 yards, 2 receiving TDs. And as they came into LA against Josh Herbert, Justin Herbert. I say Josh, Justin Herbert, in which Justin Herbert had 17 for 36 on 297 yards passing, 2 TDs, of which J.K. Dobbins had 11 carries for 56 yards and 2 running touchdowns. Disley, he had a receiving TD in which he had 4 catches for 80 yards, a receiving TD. Johnston had a receiving TD in which he had 2 catches for 48 yards. And the Chargers beat the Bengals last minute, 34-27. 34-27. Chargers beat the Bengals, 34-27. What you got, Rose? LOL. I get lemon pepper wings, fried hard, extra sprinkles with the peach drink. It's my favorite cheat meal. Lemon pepper wings, fried hard. You get all flats, Rose? Rose, I know you don't get all flats. I don't understand how people get all flat. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that's I don't know. I don't understand. Don't understand. But yeah, definitely. The did you get wing Rose? Did you get Wingstop? Did you get Wingstop or did you get East Coast wings? I don't know. You probably don't even have a East Coast wings around your way. It's probably Marietta thing. But anyway, but no, that is a good cheat meal. That is a good cheat meal, nonetheless. Shout out Andrew Fain. Andrew Fain, my guy. Salute to your brother. Salute to your brother. Appreciate you being here, brother. Appreciate you being here, brother. Hope the family doing well. Hope the family doing well. Appreciate you. What you got, Rose? Never. What you got against Wingstop? Wingstop is bearing on which one you go to, right? Oh, so you did go to Wingstop. Oh, okay, okay. She say never. Nah, but them lemon pepper wings do be banging though, man. Shout out Divine. Divine, what's good with you, my brother? What's good with you, my brother? Appreciate you being here, Divine. Salute to you, brother. Salute to you. Yes, sir, man. Appreciate y'all being in the building, man. Hit that like button for me. Hit that like button for me. So I'm getting to the next matchup of this recap. Next matchup of this recap. Let me see where we at. Where we at. And of course, shout out to Andrew Fain. Andrew Fain. Hey, Andrew, your Cowboys got to put on tonight, man. Hey, them Cowboys got to put on tonight. They playing at home. They playing the Texans. CJ ain't been looking all that good. So that them boys better show up. They and Jerry well, so they better show up. Straight like that. They better show up. So I'm gonna get into my matchup with my guys. Uh, uh so all right. So Lamar came in, you know, Lamar Jackson came in, went 16 for 33 on 207 yards passing. He had a TD, 1 passing TD, uh, 1 INT. Of course, Derrick Henry came in, did his thing. Derrick Henry had 13 carries for 65 yards, 1 rushing touchdown. Zay Flowers had a receiving touchdown, which he had 2 carries for 39 yards. As well as Humphrey had an INT via Russell Wilson. But Steelers came to do their thing. Russell Wilson went 23 for 36, 1 INT, no touchdowns. Najee Harris went 18 carries for 63 yards running. Jalen Warren had 9 carries for 41 yards. George Pickens had 8 catches for 89 yards receiving. Darnell Washington, Mount Washington, 2 catches for 42 yards. and the Steelers beat the Ravens. All field goals, 18 to 16. 18 to 16. 18 to 16. Steelers win. Happy to get the dub nonetheless, but man, we gotta talk about that, man. That's god dang. God. Oh man, bro. Come on. And mind you, that's the second time on the season that happened, right? Of course, we did the very same thing against them Falcons. Shout out to Rose and ATL and the Lemon Pepper Wings. Oh, and the Dumper Winston, of course. Can't leave out Winston. Yeah, we had to do the same thing to the Falcons going into ATL. So Boz, he had to kick those 6 field goals, of which he had to he had kicked 6 field goals, to which, just like he had to do week 1. And, because we were incapable of moving. Well, no, we moved the chains, somewhat. And we got big chunk plays here and there. But, shout out to the defense. Defense showed up and did their thing. That made all the difference, just like, parallel to week 1. And huge import shout out to Chris Boswell. Chris Boswell, the start of the game, the only guy to score points. Went had all 18 points, going 6 for 6, all distant. One of one of the top creme de la creme, top kickers in the league right now. Dominant kicker, I should say. Not Adam Vinatieri or anybody like that, but solid kicker nonetheless. Got the job done for us. Gave us the dub. So on to Cleveland on Thursday. But nonetheless, we got a lot of work to do. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. But before I get into that, before I get to the smoke on that, so our injury report, right? Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. I'm sorry, my fault, y'all. So let's go back. Wait a minute. Wait a second. So, let's get into this matchup. So, all right. So, for the second time in the season, Boss had to kick multiple field goals to win us a game. So, Boss had to kick multiple field goals to win us a game, to which, in which, we decently, got by, but we couldn't, we couldn't score in the red zone, which is gonna be a headache down the line, which I said previously. I remember hearing myself saying it. So let's look at the numbers. All right, so total yards, they had 329 to our 303, passing 205 to our 181. Rushing, they had 124 to our 122. We had 2 touchdowns. I'm sorry, we had 18 first downs to their 16. Excuse me. 18 first downs to our 16. So third down efficiency, that was 4 for 11. We was 4 for 16. Also total plays 74 to their 54. But our defense showed up. And of course, time of possession, our 36-22 to their 23-38 for the second week in a row. We controlled time possession to a top point. But when you're incapable of scoring the football, other AFC North components not going to do that. Chiefs not going to do that. Bills not going to do that. They're well aware of scoring the football and dominating, as you've seen in their matchup. So they're not going to have those issues. But leaning on the fact that we do have a dominant defense and a solid defense, but we must score the football. I mean, even if you did tune in and watch, right, and you just look at it like, hey, why they can't get in? Why they can't get into the red zone, right? Well, Arthur Smith, because it's on you to draw up the schemes, draw up the packages, and then as you seen, you had Darnell Washington. He had two significant catches, so why didn't he have more? He could have scored our first touchdown on the season. So that could have been an implementation on the red zone, a option, if you will. But we couldn't get nothing in the red zone. God, wow. I might be lying if I say that's not going to be a problem. That's a huge problem going forward. That is a huge problem. Why put more strain on your defense to do so much more than what they need to do, than what they're asked to do? And then, of course, reason why we got Highsmith out, overextended. Let alone, something happened to TJ or happened to one of our main guys in our secondary, or, I mean, we don't need that, right? So, we gotta effectively move the chains. We gotta score on that third on those conversions and in the red zone. Having dude kick 6 field goals, having dude, one game I see. Two, I mean, having that as a security blanket, yes, I understand. You know, and I was even wanting to say, I'm like, man, if we have to win by all field goals, I'm for it. I'm happy to get the win, but not like that though. That was jokingly. But as stated, that came into fruition twice. Twice. I'm like, oh man, sheesh. Mm. I gotta look it up and see if a Super Bowl was won by all field goals. I doubt it. But man, God, dog, man, God. I mean, I tell you what, it will be a first in history, right? First time for everything. But you definitely don't want to go out like that. That's trash. But definitely, shout out the boss, but man, Smith, man, you gotta drop some more things, bro. You gotta do better, man. Cause that's awful, man. That's just only shows that your lack of creativity as an OC. And like I said, man, I've been, I ain't in awe of Walter Smith, man. I've been critical of him for weeks. And he's just I'm like, man, you need to throw something at them that they haven't seen before. I mean, you pretty much know where it's going. GP first option, prime move. Darnell, he had the first touchdown. Not really. I guess they ain't really looking for him, but I mean, you have to give him that opportunity since he did have the season's first scoring TD, man. I mean, that's only smart. I mean, if you, I, golly, I mean, not to get in the red zone once while running or passing. Like it's mm, I no comment for that. That's just terrible. That is just terrible. And of course you hear all the clamor from everybody. It's like, man, y'all got like, hey man, we got it how we got it, man. We got it how we got it. Speaking of which, man, Washington, man. Dude had two significant catches going across the middle, like I said. But you couldn't fit him in that red zone option. Let me guess, you want Frymouth to be the guy? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. That's a weird space. That's a very weird space. I mean, you know what? I just figure like for the personnel that we have, right? The personnel that we have, all the weapons that we have, running game was, because Derrick Henry and Najee was neck and neck. Derrick Henry had touchdown, but both of them had right about the same numbers. Give or take a yard or two. But we couldn't get into the red zone once. That's very disturbing, very alarming. So I mean, man, what? Darnell Washington, he definitely got to get more options in the red zone, man. He definitely have to get more options around that way because I mean, I'm like, of course, if you centering your defense around, your first and second option, you know, I would solidify him a more of an option than Calvin in a receiving. I would solidify him more of an option than Van, of course. And I mean, I don't know what Mike Williams was, but hey, man, hey, you got to get in the red zone by any means. You got to get in the red zone. I mean, kicking 6 field goals, I mean, good from anywhere from 63 on in. I understand that. But man, you can't get in the red zone and you relying on because Highsmith gonna miss some significant time. Nick Herbig just came back from missing significant time. So we can't keep we can't keep doing this. We can't keep doing this. I said this after week 3. I said this after week 3, and I spoke on it. Man, we cannot keep overextending our defense. Defense came in last night. Defense balled out. Defense balled out. Dude lit up Derrick Henry the first possession. Lit him up. Give it up. Fumble. Shout out Peyton Wilson. Peyton Wilson had him a pick. Pat Queen came out. He did his thing. In which he had a fumble, had a strip fumble. I mean, we got able bodies, but I mean, we ain't got able bodies to. You looking for expendables, and we ain't got that. This ain't no Stallone movie. I mean, guys sacrificing themselves to get hurt for. I mean, no, man, come on. You got to put points on that board, man, and control that. You control the time possession, but you got to get in that red zone, though. That's a must. That is a must. But shout out to the defense. Defense definitely showed up and did their thing, But of course, they back at it Thursday versus the Browns in Cleveland, and but they definitely gonna show up and do their thing. The Steelers offense collapsed in the red zone. Absolutely. Collapsed, disappeared, decimated, evaporated. They showed up to the stadium. They did something. They got dressed. I don't know. There's probably listen to Sierra last album on the way out in the tunnel, but I couldn't tell you. But bottom line is, man, yeah, that's crazy, especially against the Ravens, man. Especially against the Ravens, you would have thought they would put up huge numbers, man. The way that defense played, and that's it. I thought, me personally, I thought it was trash. I thought offense was trash. Me personally, like I mean, in comparison to what the defense did, and then you had Highsmith out. Uh, TJ really couldn't, but like I said, Tim Dell and TJ opened up what for Pat Queen, for Peyton Wilson, and Nick Hurt. They opened that up for everything. Everything came open for everybody else, and of course, everybody else ate. And that's what makes our defense so special. Shout out the second Rose. Rose, how you doing today, Rose? How you doing today, Rose? I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Rose, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was in the middle of an assessment. I'm sorry I didn't acknowledge you sooner, Rose. My apologies. I'm so sorry. I apologize. I apologize for you being late. That's my fault. I apologize for not speaking to you sooner. That's my fault. And I appreciate you. And it's my fault for you even not hitting the like button, which I'm pretty sure you didn't, Rose. But now, Rose, I thank you for being here, Rose. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Rose. Appreciate y'all being here, man. Appreciate y'all being here. But nah, man, offense definitely did collapse and vanish. They were trash. It's no way around it. It was trash. That trash, he got the win, but the defense sustained and held up. And like I said, we can't rely heavily on everything on them because, like I said, man, the wear and tear is going to accumulate, and come time, Who's gonna be there in the end? Who's gonna be there in the end? You know, when you can't get in the red zone consistently. Come on now. What you got, Rose? What you got? Hope you're having a great Monday. Absolutely. Absolutely. Productivity is the only way. Productivity is the only way. I hope you out there being productive and having a great Monday as well as everybody else in the chat. Man, you know, that's how you start the week. Productivity. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. But yeah, definitely, man. Our guys got to do better, man. That was that was a terrible outing. I mean, you can have all the splash plays and all the, you know, all the ooh, but you can't put points on the board, man. What are you doing? You ain't no that's contenders don't do that. That's just what it is. Contenders don't do that. You can't be a contender. You can't consistently put points on the board week to week. I mean, this is the second time this happened. I mean, and granted, Ravens defense wasn't even all that. I think it was more so as it's more so the lack of productivity on our end and the lack of creativeness on our OC Arthur Smith. Because their defense really wasn't that good. We just was flat. They Ray Lewis wasn't out there, Ed Reed wasn't out there, Terrell Suggs wasn't out there, none of the like was out there. I get it, Ravens and Steelers, you know, rivalry matchup, and it's, you know, it's neck and neck every time, but you didn't have no elite defenders out there. Let's be real. I mean, it's no excuse possible with why you didn't have for you putting up points and your kick having to kick 6 field goals. Now, Atlanta's defense, they were decent at the time, you know, and I was, you know, that was what it was. But Ravens have no significant people on defense. I mean, and you see our offensive personnel, and we can't throw a rock in the ocean. I mean, that was just a poor performance on the offense and on the OC, man. You know, if I'm Tomlin, I'm putting Arthur Smith on the heavy microscope, heavily, because that was a terrible outing. Terrible outing. Terrible outing. But man, I appreciate y'all being in here with me today. Appreciate y'all being in here with me today, man. We on a short week this week. We got the Browns on Thursday. Browns on Thursday night matchup. Browns on a Thursday night matchup. Also tomorrow, of course, you know, I'm gonna be back for the UFC content on Tuesday and Thursday slot. You know, y'all make sure y'all hit that like button, check the community tab, join the channel if you have not already. Join the channel. Also, also, join the Discord as well. How I had a brain fart. Excuse me. Thanks, Rose. Join the Discord as well. Hit that Discord link. Hit that like button. What you got, Andrew Fain? What you got? You have to blame Russell. I blame Sierra. I don't blame Russ. I blame Sierra. I blame Sierra. I blame Sierra and every bad album she's done. I blame Sierra. I'm gonna stop, man. I'm gonna stop. But nah, man, Russ, man, yeah, they gotta do better than that, man. They gotta do better than that, man. That was awful, man. That was awful. That was awful. But they got a huge turnaround, man. They got a turnaround. They got the Browns Thursday night, so they better do something. So Browns just got blew out by the Saints, but you know, Browns gonna come to play. I already know. They gonna be at home. They gonna be, yeah, they gonna be honorary dogs. The dog pound. But man, y'all hit that like button on the way out, man. I appreciate all y'all being here, man. I'm gonna be back on tomorrow for the UFC content, the Tuesday and Thursday 4 o'clock slot. covering the UFC coverage. Tune in with me, hit that like button, like, share, subscribe, help me grow the channel. I'm at about 322 right now, trying to get past that 500 mark so I can get some of this YouTube chicken. Man, help me grow the channel, help me get past that 500 marker, man, so we get monetized out here in this YouTube streets. But man, I appreciate y'all being here, man. Andrew, my guy, Rose, Raquel Rose, Divine, man, I appreciate all y'all being here, man. I appreciate all y'all being here, man. Man, I appreciate y'all. Hope y'all having a good rest of y'all week. Hope y'all having a productive work week. Start the week solid, you know, work solidly through it and end it on a solid note, man, because that's the only way to go about it. Productivity. Man, I appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate y'all greatly. I'm G Honda. This is the Steelmatic Network, and y'all have a good week.